Hello, boys and girls. It's me, Yoshi, welcoming you back to my 100% playthrough of Mario Kart World for Nintendo Switch. In the last video, we left off in Grand Prix mode, completing the 5th and 6th cup seats respectively, and unlocking a new character and yet another new cart. If you're wondering why I delayed using Bowser, Yoshi for so long, well, this is actually a video where we're going to use them, because my Bowser I have a specific use for, and Yoshi I wanted to save for last, because obviously Yoshi makes no sense for me to use in the Special Cup, because after all, he is my favorite character. Anyways, we have to move on to Bowser first, though, so let's do that. So, this time around, we are done with the carts for a little while, so we'll be able to move on to some of the bikes instead. Again, we're trying to stick with the first page first before moving on to the next page. I wonder how many actual plants there are. There's probably so many of them, I might have to just show off the rest depending on the set. Don't worry though, I do plan on, depending on how bad it is, I could probably just play a mission, or cup rather, that I failed with our stuff. Anyways, since we're back in a linear fashion again, let's start with the standard bike first and see how that works. And we have only 2 cups to select now. There's the Lightning Cup, and then we're gonna unlock the Special Cup. You might have just noticed, yes, we do go to Bowser's Castle. That's the only reason why I picked Bowser later, because I wanted to have him now. He's still pretty fast, by the way, no matter what. So he's gonna beat me interesting, he is. But also, he's gonna naturally turn a little bit slower. So we'll see what works for now. And this new version of Bowser's Castle looks absolutely amazing. Hindsight. There we go. First cup of the video. Oh yeah, by the way, Bowser Jr. is racing with us as well. I also need to know that bikes do turn a lot sharper than carts naturally. I think that's one of the biggest differences. They turn so fast, so really be able to use much extra stuff. Yeah, take that. I actually don't really like the feather to this game so far. Just half of the time it doesn't really have a good use. Okay, well, the advantage mainly with the bikes is they turn really fast, but that also means they're really hard to drift with. Any car with, like, no drift, or I guess Mike in this case, with no drift is kind of tough to do. I like how this area is really open, too. Okay, well, looks like we did get a different version of Mike. So, what I was trying to say is, not only do the bikes turn faster, but there's also 2 different versions of them, which is a little bit different. So right now we have an outside drifting bike, which means it kicks its rear tire out to the right whenever we turn left and vice versa. Then there's the inward drifting bikes, which drift way faster, and those are probably the most desirable of all, and especially in Mario Kart Wii in particular. They were like amazingly good. In fact, some of the best in the whole game. Pretty much everybody knows how broken bikes are in Mario Kart Wii. They may be the most broken thing ever. Ever since then, they've been nerfed a lot. Like, there used to be a wheelie mechanic where you could just get a speed boost from the bike, and actually it's really cool. That's actually one of my favorite parts to do. The problem is, it just doesn't work in this anymore. I don't know why, it just doesn't work. Of course, anyways, we're starting in Moo Moo Meadows, which means we do have to deal with the Kells again. This track got remade now for the 3rd time now. It was already in Mario Kart Wii initially, then it was in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and now they made it again for this. So they changed. Also just realized, If we change to a different character, does that also mean our stats change as well? Interesting. Wow, that was a surprisingly tame race. Especially at 50cc, it's not very often you get a race like that where you don't even get hit by a single item. That was absolutely flawless. To be fair, Bowser also is faster naturally, so that means his should be fairly straightforward as long as we play it good. So now we have to go to the next race, of course. Anyways, so yeah, we have to move on to the next race then. While we are moving on to the next race, I do have a small confession to make. So you're probably wondering why this is showing up and not Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition, because I keep talking about that playthrough quite a bit. Well, that's because my other main playthrough was already finished and I was so far ahead in terms of the recording setup that I didn't want to do it again. So that's why I decided to basically change the loop now. As a result of that, I've pretty much been focused more on doing other stuff here. Oh wow, we got really lucky. Hey, let's try this. We really cut a massive portion of the track doing that, but also it was already pretty straightforward, so I'm not sure how much time we saved, but that still looks pretty cool. Not very often we get triple mushrooms. That's actually probably the best item you could possibly get in this, though. When in that position, it just gives you so much stuff. Anyways, Boo being just as annoying as ever, and Kamek also trying to join the fray. Oh, at least we turned into a cow. That's actually quite fitting considering the track we did last. So one thing that is interesting also about is if Kamek does get activated, you might notice more obstacles do get added even though they weren't there before. And the actual effect is different depending on which act you get into as well. Anyways, we finally arrived in a new track this time. This feels actually, yeah, I think this is Chocolate Mountain. At least it has its specific theme. Definitely does not look like the original, though. It might actually be something different. Like, they have specific going here. Okay. So the trick with this one is the mud really slows you down, so you have to pretty much hop constantly to get around it. And the only time you can really go on there safely is if you have mushroom. So right there, if I had a mushroom at that point, I think that would have worked really well. Oh well, that was still pretty easy. Having a fast character definitely makes all the difference. From what I saw, just from time trials alone, this is typically the character most people seem to be using right now. Although there's probably a couple other characters that also have the same stats as Bowser. I just think probably prefer him so far. At least that's what I've seen. I haven't actually looked at any videos, but I did notice a video thumbnail that had Bowser in it for time trial records. So I assume that's who we'll be using mainly in time trials if we shall. That being said, I'm really tempted to beat all the tracks as Yoshi. I really want to. But anyways, yeah, if anybody was wondering why my videos weren't coming out at a specific time, well, that's because, yeah, like, specifically, I was talking about how I was also specifically talking about the fact that my playthrough, which was Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition, wasn't going to be recorded at least this week. and that I can confirm is 100%. Okay, so it looks like if you get those things at the right time, you get a speed boost, which means it's a timing thing. So you could lose a little bit of if you mess that up. By the way, almost every one of these new are now, because you have to drive to the side, means you have to deal with traffic in almost every race now after the first one. And there's even some acts elsewhere that might have you using that. Well, since we haven't gotten a power up yet, let's go ahead and use that right away. Well, we get Biker Bowser. This is actually probably one of his coolest outfits, so okay. We picked a really good outfit there. Now we're back at something more familiar, Toad's Factory. Didn't really like that cycle, so I couldn't stay on it fully. Obviously, if you get more luckier and are more brave, you can just stay in the middle there, and that's how you go as fast as possible. But obviously, that can be kind of tricky. I will say, it seems kind of questionable which things you can trick off on, and others, spots you simply just cannot trick off at all. Seems a little confusing to say, but we'll figure it out eventually. I just realized, looking at it now, they completely removed that moat on the right side. I'm not sure if you know, but there used to be a moat on the right side there. I think they removed it now on purpose, so now you can actually take a shortcut. I also just realized, yeah, Bowser Jr. is also this character that we will lock in here, which is very fitting since we are using Bowser. Again, all the more reason to be using Bowser, and speaking of Bowser, since he and Anna are now going to hopefully be first and second each, I think that's very fitting. Oh, there he is right there. Speaking of which, we are going to our area, at least for this character now, Bowser's Castle, next. Okay, as tempting as it is to sit this, I'm sorry, Mr. Gio, but I'm gonna have to hit you real quick. So, this is Bowser's game right now. I just realized, looking at it now, the AI does seem a lot smarter. You just saw that take a shortcut on the right. They seem to be using items better now. Like, if they get mushrooms, they will preemptively know where to go with the shortcuts. So it does seem like they improved the AI quite a bit in this game. Alright. Again, our item immediately gets taken from us. Also, I just realized we switched costumes again. Now we have, like, kind of another Viking thing going on, but it's slightly different now. I honestly don't know which part is faster. I think I've tried both. I think the right side seems a little bit more quicker. The doesn't seem to really care, though. They'll take both sides no matter what. I think it's doing the airship thing from Super Mario Bros. 3 is the theme here. I like it so far. It's really cool. And see, this is another part I don't get. Like, that bump right there I was able to trick off, yet the second bump there I was not able to trick off. I have no idea why it just don't work half of the time, and other times they do. So it's really strange. It's something we're just gonna have to get used to. Okay, we don't have a way to get up to there because we already before. think if anything, I want to get rid of this at some point. To have a good chance to do it now. There we go. Didn't matter though, we didn't get the item because we weren't ready for it. Probably should just use that right away then. But then again, I'm also waiting for an opportunity to maybe make the most of it like better. I just realized this track set looks a lot like Rainbow Road's Mario Kart 8 version. At least the layout looks very similar. I think the last time I did this track, I almost fell off. Because a blue shell or something hit me as I was going over the jump. That's like the worst time to get hit during a jump. Alright, so just as I expected, Bowser and Bowser Jr. are first and second each, respectively. Perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. And Peach is with us too. Wow, Peach is with us. She's trying to stay competitive here. I don't know why, I feel like there was a lack of items there for some reason. Before, in the beginning, we were just getting hit by all the items, but now here we are with a very easy free star there. And we got Bowser Jr. now to play with as well. So yeah, another character unlocked. And, obviously, because that was our 7th cup in the game, we get to view this very unique secret, which we only get to see one time in the game. So yeah, all the cups we just got combined into the special cup, which is, of course, the hardest and most difficult cup to do in the game. Luigi's a little surprised at it, too. Alright. Now the special cup is permanently locked for the rest of the info, which is nice. And of course we got coins. Also get a couple other things to use. We'll just pick that sticker and go straight for the last cup in the game. Which, of course, I already mentioned, we're gonna use our boy Yoshi for. You guys have been waiting for this. Oh, he gets the cute scoot too. Oh, this is gonna be fun. Of course, one thing you might notice, yes, because Yoshi is an acceleration-based character, he has good acceleration, but he still top speed, which is gonna make it pretty tricky to win. In fact, just looking at it now, we're going with one of the worst speed nations in the name, but then again, I have to show off everything, so that's just something I have to do. So at first, two of these are just the same as before, but the next one is, of course, Rainbow World, which will be very tricky. And yes, I need to make sure that I'm only doing 50cc, by the way, because 50cc is very important to do. Here we go. The hardest cup in the game. This one I'm going completely blinded. I was initially gonna do it with my friends to practice, and then I figured it'd be better if I just at least see the ending for myself. So yeah, We start in Acorn Heights, a really tall track from the looks of it, and also in a really tight spot. Now this is gonna look really interesting. And this is another outside drifting bike. You can tell almost immediately. Okay, good thing we can still get the flying part done like we did the last time. Why don't we just go on here instead? We have shortcuts anyways. I know the rest of that part looks cool, but I wanted to do that because we got the mushrooms to do it with. So yeah, this is probably the main mechanic of the game pretty much, being able to go off and on of those lanes. Because we fell literally over to the side there. That's how far we fell. See, I knew we were going to get shelled. Even if I didn't say anything, jinx myself, it probably would have still happened anyway. I think if we just like skip this, we'll be fine. Or at least a good majority of it. And so that's the other way of doing that part. Alright, so far this is pretty straightforward. Actually not sure if this is if that previous part was faster or not, since there is these boost pads over here. That will probably be faster though in 150. So far, Boo's been my most favorite item, definitely because I've lost my defensive items constantly from that. It's a little annoying. Okay, that time we went straight off instead. Okay, let's land very quickly. Otherwise, we would have been forced to land later anyway. And of course, we've been lightninged as well. Literally, right? Instant regrets, by the way. Instantly regret saying that thing before. Got lightninged. Good 3 times, and we have a red shell coming at us. They were still far behind, but if I was on 150 CSA, I would have had to immediately restart. Alright. Now we're going in the opposite direction so we can leave the track. Interesting. Come on, lady. There you go. Got him out of there. Okay, annoyingly enough, that did not change our skin. I thought it would. Or rather, costume. They did not give us a new costume. That was unfortunate. There's no way of knowing which one it is, though, to be fair. good. We got at least coins going for us. Man, we need to be collecting as many coins as we can. Annoyingly enough, this bike drift's a little too much for my liking. Oh, we got a mushroom there. Nice. Well, we made it to this track already. Oh, this is the SNES Mario Kart. Longer variation. There's lots of actual variations, especially in the SNES games. Like how to make up for its short length, they made it 5 laps. 2 of them are spent getting into it, then it's 3 laps. Or actually, no, never mind, it is 1 segment. I thought it was 5 laps like it usually is. No, it just simply extended it a lot more. All the reds all of a sudden. Coming out today. I'm trying to be extra cheeky today. Yeah, I knew that was Mario Kart because he's in 2nd place. Obvious. Okay, we did not fall off there. I'm just gonna get rid of that. It doesn't seem like Pepper's really useful on the track. There's some tracks where that is just really not useful. There we go. We got Red Yoshi at the very least, which is his Pro Racer outfit. Okay. Oh boy. Okay, this... Whoa. That was really tight. I was not expecting that. Even just the drift on this bike felt incredible. Okay, well, let's start doing this a bit to make up for that. Okay, well, we got it done. Nice feather kick, Yoshi. Still a couple more races to go, though, and we still have to get for the ending as well. Yes, whenever you finish a special cup, I have to go through the ending. Oh, Luigi. That's a little worried there. Looks like he was shivering. Is he too afraid to be beaten by Yoshi? Is that what it is? Anyway, we need to get some coins now and keep going. Oh, there's Cheap Cheap. I just got an icon for him earlier today. I guess I should mention, yes, I do have Switch Online. That's actually the only way I've been able to play online. See what I mean? This is what's probably going to happen a lot in the later difficulties. With how many Macers there are and how chaotic it gets, it's very easy for you to just immediately lose time. But, of course, we also have a draft mechanic we can abuse. We can also stomp on our erasers, too, which can help out a bit. Okay. Well, we can stay in here for a while. Some of them got on top. Okay, let's go over here. So Goat Shell mostly benefits the person that's either in front or uses it, because then you get a chance to collect money. Nice. Okay, I had to skip back because he had 2 items. Not trying to get rid of them, considering what happened the last time there. Anyways, what you saw there with the first parts, that's just a preview as to what's probably to come into One Mace. That's what actually makes this game somewhat tricky. Sometimes all it takes is one big mistake and you'll just randomly go down to a very low position. Not much you can really do about it either. That's probably the flawless position when I could have gotten hit by the blue shell in that regard. Because we were right on a boost bounce, so we almost immediately got back our speed. Of course, Yoshi had better acceleration, so we could recover very fast. That's another reason why I play as Yoshi could be great, because of course you recover from things really fast. Alright, now we're on to Peach Stadium. I believe this is a new track. I think there's another right here. We can at least try to get it pushed down. Hey, well, they just changed back to Pro Racer again. Didn't really happen. We made it. I believe if we were to do this on non-Grand Prix mode, we would go to each individual track back and just do 3 laps normally. So versus mode is actually slightly different as a regard. The going between courses only happens on the Grand Prix mode. It's exclusive to that, and also Knockout Challenge, since that also follows the similar path. I didn't see who threw that out, but they are very mean for doing that. I timed that in a way that can still give me coins back at the very least. Hopefully we still have max coins. Of course, in games like this, whenever we can get coins, that improves our speed, so we definitely want to make sure we keep doing it. Well, I don't see the difference right now. We're in 50cc, I guess, so it's still pretty easy, but should be a little slower. I guess it did kind of matter at first in the beginning, but I don't know. It just kind of seems so easy so far. It's Rainbow time next. It's gonna be probably really awkward. Thank goodness we have at least a decent turning car, by somewhat decently. Interesting. We're not wearing our costume. Okay, we missed the start boost, but that's probably for the better, because we can get a better item. Honestly, since rank doesn't really matter for this stuff, if we go to the back of the pack early, we can get a lot better items. That is one advantage of not being right at the start. So yeah, we can just kind of go around. Oh, we got a blue shell ourselves. That almost never happens. There's not really a good use for these mushrooms, but I also don't really want to lose them to a lightning necessary. So we just have to kind of use them fast, try and catch up here. Alright, now we're kind of caught up to the racers. Whoa. Now we're going to be... They're going to Sace. Whoa. Still going. Okay, it forced us down there. Now we can finally move. So this is this game's version of Rainbow World. Whoa. It's very long and massive looking. Maybe the most intimidating looking Rainbow World we've seen thus far. I think we want to pretty much be drifting every turn. As with Rainbow World, we'll probably fall off if we mess up, so we need to be careful here. Gotta drift every turn, but we also have to be careful when we do it. And knowing the Rainbow Road, if it has the same physics as before, oh! Damn! There we go. Nice. I'm glad we got to do that at least once. Basically destroyed the blue shell there with that item. That's why that item is so useful. It really gives you the ability to just stop the blue shell. One of the frustrations to go for all that time to try and get first place, or place for yourself. This race to just have that item and just remove the blue shells. Like, oh, that's nothing actually. I can just cheese that and remove the item. Well, because this is a imagine this is just one lap, segmented. So yeah, that's one thing I've noticed with this game. It seems like a lot of the track has segments. I also just realized, I think holding down with the plane, just kind of like generic terrain shells, seems to be the fastest way to move on them. Now we're going on water again. Just looks amazing. Wow, this is really cool, actually. Oh, we got the cool train on the right, too. I believe that was also on the N64 version of Rainbow Road, too. They turned it diamond. Originally, it was gold and fired coins out for you. Now it's diamond. I just realized something I could do. Yeah, I could just kind of casually jump to the next section. To be fair, Mario Kart 8 let you do that, too, so it looks like jumping to other sections could be a fast way of taking a more optimal line through there. Okay, well, thankfully we're still in the boost panel area. Yeah, so that literally did nothing there. We're just teleported right over, alright. Good, so at least they don't allow you to fall off while you're flying to that part. I think I'm just gonna stay on this path. Whoa, now we're going reverse gravity. Oh, this looks really confusing to navigate. Imagine if we had a turning vehicle here. Okay, well, this version of Rainbow World definitely looks amazing, as per usual. It's usually the most iconic and also very good looking track. Here we go. Oh, here we go. Now we're in this. Okay, we need to head to the end of this quickly, just in case. Right as I say that, too. Yeah, I knew there was probably going to be an item coming. Oh, it's a triple red. Means there might be a third one coming. Well, this looks really confusing now. Oh, there's a big dinosaur on that train. Wow. Okay, that looks really cool to drift around. Alright, I think this might be the faster of the two parts. I didn't even see where the others are. It's so hard to tell where everybody is on this part, because you literally cannot see it. They're at least keeping it up, from the looks of it. Yeah, this looks like we could probably jump off to the lower section and save a little time. Although, I'm not sure if that's true. Anyway, I don't want to try it here on the last track of this difficulty. Just want to finish it. And there's the finish line. Fly through it. That's how we finished the last race. Cool. Right, well that was still pretty easy. They changed the theme up slightly when you finish a race here. Interesting. Alright, well, that means that we done this part now, so that means we see the ending after we see this first. So in the end, Luigi did make it to second at the very least, so maybe him being in the cutscene made sense. Okay, then. Okay, this lasts longer, I see. That's not enough for us to go through here. Alright, so we got 3 stars on every on every race on this difficulty, which means we do not have to do it again, thank goodness. Interesting. Rainbow returns. Rainbow World appears after a long absence. And yeah, this is the credits of the game. This looks cool, alright. Of course, this was just the first difficulty we'll have to do with this mode. We're gonna have to do it 2 more times as well. Thankfully, it's fairly quick. Of course, if we want to really see if there's any secret unlockables, we first have to play for 150cc difficulty. At some point, whenever we finish 100cc completely. Anyway. So far, this is pretty cool to watch. Well, so far, I definitely enjoyed this game. It's probably going to be pretty tricky, especially in 150cc, where the aim moves a lot faster and the AI is harder to beat. Because, of course, the AI difficulty gets much harder as we advance on, and they start cheating close to our backs. Something we're going to have to worry about. But other than that, we still have Knockout Tour to do, of course, as well, on all 3 difficulties. As for what I'm going to do differently, we may see 150cc for later, simply because it's interesting to do it last, probably. Interesting. They show the original characters from Super Mario Kart as well. Very interesting what they've done here. These cards look amazing, not gonna lie, they look really cool. Congratulations. Thank you for playing Mario Kart World. Alright. That was the ending of the game. Cool. I liked it. Of course, because we're at the ending of the game, it means we have to up here. But I'll go in here first so that it doesn't get confusing for you guys. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Comment, rate, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Bye! We'll be doing Knockout Tour next, by the way. That'll be interesting to see how that works.